Hey, it's your girl, Coach Kinsley. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to break down hydration. How much? How often? Let's find out.
It's 15-minute fitness fix with Coach Kinsley. I'm Mike Hinata of Greyhawk Media Productions, senior editor, an occasional sidekick, and a former personal training client of Coach Kinsley's, who pushed through each set until I heard
3, 2, 1, let's go! Remember to always consult your physician before starting any nutrition or fitness regimen.
Hey, Coach, this story goes back a little bit of ways. Back when I started first training with you, I tried a lot to drink water. It would get to nighttime and I'd end up with these terrible cramps. And that's usually when we were doing the cardio resistance trainings where, I was pushing that dumb sled, or you had me doing those stupid bear crawls, which I'm terrible at. I'm pretty sure it was something water related. Was I not drinking enough? Was I drinking too much? What was going on?
Oh, that was definitely dehydration. You are not drinking enough. Your body will let you know when you're not drinking enough, and that is one of the main ways, especially when you're working out. Most people, generally speaking, are dehydrated, unfortunately. But then when you start working out, your muscles require even more, not just because of the sweat that you have during the workout, but because of the recovery, which most of your recovery happens at night. So all this is just adding up.
So I had one of those like 33-ounce things of water. I would drink I'd have one and drink it through the day. That wasn't enough.
One, Mike, no, 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 no. So, very, very basic advice. This is the minimum amount of water you should have. Take your body weight in pounds, divide it in half, and then the minimum you should have that day is that much in ounces. So, half your body weight in ounces. But if you're working out, you require more. And then there's also other reasons that you would require more because yes, that little equation that's just based off your body weight, but your metabolic rate and actually your body surface area also affects how much water you need.
Basal metabolic rate? What are you talking about?
So that would essentially be, I like thinking of it as your passive calories. So if you did absolutely nothing all day, your basal metabolic rate is the calories you would burn anyways just by existing.
So then the water affects that how?
Well, every single system requires water. And everyone knows your body's made of 75% water. Everyone knows that, but they don't think that literally every single system, I'm talking not just muscular, I'm talking cellular, nervous, lymphatic, cardiovascular, endocrine, literally every single system, and therefore every single cell in your body requires water to function properly and not die early. This is life or death, Mike.
So the one big cup of water I had all day wasn't
Not
wasn't
quite
quite
enough.
enough. So I actually deserved the cramps that I got. And it was later, Coach, that you did tell me that I needed to drink more water, and that is one thing that stopped it. So now I work out and I don't have to worry about that anymore because I drink enough water.
Water is the best thing you can do for today's health as well as your long term health, and it's the cheapest. Just plain water.
What about what about the Gatorade and the energy drinks and the sports drinks, and I mean, don't those count too?
So I'm glad you asked. They count, but the thing about it is that not everyone needs that. The idea behind, your sports drinks, they're electrolytes, which is essentially sodium, maybe some potassium. But the athletes that lose sodium to a point where it would be relevant enough, like more than what the average diet would take care of, those are your endurance athletes. So unless you're running, 10Ks, working out for 5 hours a day, it's not essential. What is essential is plain old water.
All right, Coach. So I'm not drinking Gatorade because I don't really need to because I'm not going 5 hours or anything crazy. I've got my water, spreading it across the day. But what if I decide to, have a big cup of Joe or, knock back a couple of diet sodas? Can I count those liquid ounces toward my total goal? Is that the same?
It's not the same. I wish it was. I love coffee. I'd call myself a coffee snob. But the thing about it is that's practically a diuretic, which means you are losing water when you have those type of drinks. So it's doing the opposite, unfortunately. You're going to have to make up for it. So that addresses the coffee. So normal sodas are going to greatly affect your caloric intake for that day. And then I have a lot of clients where they're like, "Oh, no, it's diet." Well, the thing about diet soda is that a lot of them are sweetened with aspartame, and that is not good for your brain health. There have been some studies that can see the effects of it on your neurotransmitters. So the only thing that counts towards your water is water.
That can be pretty cheap. I think I have something in my house. You turn it on and it comes out free. Well, not free. It's included in the price of utilities, but it's not as much as buying sports drinks and energy drinks and all of that stuff. That you see athletes do that, but I'm pretty sure a real athlete probably doesn't knock that stuff back.
Probably not as much as the average Joe does.
All right, so coach, you got me drinking my big cup of water 3 4 times a day. What if, like, I don't know, in the morning or I forget it somewhere, I decide to knock back, 96 ounces of water in one sitting? Does that count?
With that number that you get by dividing your body weight in half, if you just slammed that much water at one time, that doesn't mean that you're hydrated. Hydration is not yes or no. You are or you aren't. It is a process. So, having water throughout the day is very important. So, some advice that I give a lot of my clients that struggle with water is to have it first thing in the morning. This starts your metabolic rate, and it's so much better to put on your stomach first thing than, let's say, something acidic like coffee. But then it can get you into the mindset that you need to consistently be having that water. And there have been a few studies that have shown the effects of having water like before your meals and seeing weight loss in the group that had water, like 500 milliliters before their meals versus the group that didn't. They saw much greater loss in weight. And that can probably have to do with the fact that the signals that your body gives you for thirst is the same signals that it gives you for hunger. So a lot of times you might think that you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty, which is also why consistent intake of water is important.
All right, coach. So you got me off my one, 1 gallon walk around water, from 5 to 7. So now I'm hydrating more often. My workouts have moved to noon now, lunchtime. So what should I be consuming prior? Should I drink water during? And do I just break it out evenly, or do I do more before or more after? How do I balance that?
That's a good question. So, around your workout, it is very beneficial to go into your workout hydrated, right? That's going to help with blood flow, but it's not good to chug water right beforehand because you want that water to be available to you, right? So, it's already in the system, not sitting there in your stomach waiting. So definitely don't chug water beforehand, but maybe an hour beforehand have a healthy serving, like a good 16er, and then during the workout and leading up closer to your workout, you should be sipping. And I say sipping specifically because if you have that water just sitting there in your stomach, do you ever work out and you kind of feel it like jiggling around?
Yes. Boo.
Yeah, yeah. It's the worst. That's because your blood is not in that system. It is being used in your muscles right now. It is not worried about what's going on in your digestive system. It's not going to be digesting. So that's why I'm saying sipping. Do not chug during your workout. So uncomfortable. And then after the workout, that's when you can feel free to get back to it. Reasonable amounts. You don't need to just sip, but across the board, like, Don't chug until your stomach's too full. You don't want to be bloated.
So, Coach, when we started way back in the day, we were working out at like 5:30. I know I'm not going to wake up at 4 to start drinking water. Is that sort of a sipping circumstance that early in the morning? Because I think now you have 5:30 clients or 5 a.m.
Yes.
clients.
Yes, that would be a sipping circumstance. And then hydrating before bed is an option, but you don't want it to disrupt your sleep. So if you're waking up to go to the bathroom, then it's better to save the sipping for the morning and for during your workout.
Okay, Coach. So, generally speaking, I drink half my body weight in ounces of water. Uh, are there any other instances where I need to drink more or less? If it's hot outside or if I have a different body type?
Yes. Yeah, there are some different groups that would have to consume more. So considering metabolic rate, body surface area, and body weight, if you're obese, you'll have to drink more water because of the body surface area, because of all these. Your metabolic rate's also going to be greater. And then for women that are pregnant or breastfeeding, their metabolic rate is much higher too. So they're going to need to consume more water in that case.
All right, Coach, hit the highlights for us.
You need half your body weight in ounces of water daily. This should be a constant intake of water. You should be sipping all the doodah day. And the big why? Because all your cells need water, meaning all your systems need water, meaning all the time that you are alive, you should be sipping and hydrating. You will be faster, you'll be smarter, you'll be stronger with constant water. Hydrate or dihydrate, baby.
Hashtag hydrate or dihydrate.
Thank you so much for joining us today on 15-Minute Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley. The fun doesn't need to stop here. Email me at coach@coachkinsley.com. You can check out my webpage, coachkinsley.com, and also find me on Instagram at, you guessed it, Coach Kinsley. You're a girl. See you next week.